What if a single, unsigned letter could unravel the fabric of an entire community? In the heart of America, the small, unassuming town of Circleville, Ohio, became the epicenter of a chilling mystery that began not with a bang, but with a whisper and a stamp. In 1976, residents began receiving anonymous letters filled with venomous accusations and intimate secrets, most notably targeting a school bus driver, Mary Gillespie, for an alleged affair. The writer, claiming to be a concerned citizen, watched from the shadows, their crude, block lettering becoming a symbol of terror. This was no simple gossip. The letters escalated into threats, exposed deep-seated tensions, and ultimately preceded a suspicious car crash and a bizarre booby trap. A suspect was arrested and convicted, yet the letters, impossibly, continued to arrive, even from behind prison walls. Who was the real Circleville writer? Was it one person or many? Decades later, the case remains a haunting testament to how easily paranoia can take root, turning neighbors into suspects, and leaving a legacy of fear and unanswered questions that linger like a ghost over the quiet Ohio town. In the mid-1970s, Circleville, Ohio, was the picture of American tranquility. A small town where everyone knew their neighbors and life moved at a gentle pace. But in the spring of 1976, that peace was shattered. Anonymous letters, written in crude, blocky handwriting, began appearing in mailboxes. They were filled with venomous accusations, primarily targeting school bus driver Mary Gillespie and her alleged affair with the school superintendent. The letters were not just gossip. They were threats promising to expose secrets and ruin lives. They spread a contagion of fear and suspicion, turning neighbor against neighbor. The idyllic facade of Circleville was beginning to crumble, revealing a dark undercurrent of resentment and malice that had been lurking just beneath the surface, waiting for a single spark to ignite the entire community in a fire of doubt. The poison pen campaign escalated. The threats grew more specific, more personal. Mary Gillespie's husband, Ron, became consumed with finding the author, believing he knew who was tormenting his family. One fateful evening in August 1977, after receiving a mysterious and infuriating phone call, Ron stormed out of his home, taking a firearm with him. He was later found inside his pickup truck, which had crashed into a signpost on a dark country road. The official ruling was an accident, a fatal combination of alcohol and distraction. Yet, questions haunted the investigation. The firearm had been discharged once, but the bullet was never found. Was it truly a tragic accident, or did Ron drive off to confront the writer, only to meet a fate orchestrated by the very person he sought to unmask? The writer had warned of violence, and now it had arrived in the most ambiguous way. Years passed, but the letters never stopped. After Ron's passing, Mary Gillespie began a public relationship with the superintendent, a fact that seemed to further enrage the anonymous writer. Then, in 1983, the campaign took a terrifyingly physical turn. While driving her route, Mary noticed a crude, insulting sign about her daughter placed along the road. When she stopped to remove it, she discovered a horrifying contraption. The sign was attached by a string to a box, which contained a firearm aimed to discharge the moment the sign was moved. It was a clumsily made but deadly booby trap. The investigation quickly zeroed in on a suspect, Mary's own brother-in-law, Paul Freshour. The evidence was circumstantial, but police believed they had finally found the man behind the years of terror. A family member had become the prime suspect in an attempted assault. Despite his pleas of innocence, Paul Freshour was convicted of attempted murder for the booby trap incident and sentenced to prison. The prosecution's case rested heavily on identifying his firearm as the trap weapon, an analysis his defense team fiercely contested. The town of Circleville breathed a collective sigh of relief, believing the torment was finally over, but it wasn't. From within the walls of the Lima Correctional Institution, Paul Freshour watched in disbelief as the letters started again. They bore the same blocky handwriting, the same intimate knowledge of the town's secrets, but now they carried a Columbus postmark, the city near the prison. Was Freshour a criminal mastermind, somehow smuggling out letters to continue his campaign from behind bars. Or was he an innocent man, framed by a cunning writer who now mocked the justice system from the shadows, leaving him to rot for a crime he did not commit? Paul Freshour served 10 years in prison, maintaining his innocence every single day until his passing in 2012. The letters eventually tapered off and stopped, their author never claiming victory or revealing their identity. The Circleville writer simply vanished into folklore, leaving behind a legacy of fear and a web of unanswered questions. Decades later, the case remains a chillingly unsolved enigma. Was it all the work of one person? Was Paul Freshour a wronged man or a brilliant manipulator? New generations of investigators and journalists pore over the case files, searching for a clue that everyone missed. For the town of Circleville, the scars remain. The letters may have stopped arriving in the mail, but the specter of the anonymous writer still lingers, a permanent resident in the town's collective memory. A testament to a mystery that refuses to be solved.